years. A lot farther than that, but all this stuff plays together. So you got to be very careful when you learn your history, and you got to be very careful when you talk about certain things, because the truth is not always what you think it is. We've been lied to a great extent by the movers and shakers. I'm telling you, Social Security is not because Franklin Roosevelt was a nice guy. Franklin Roosevelt not only didn't care about the average farmer in the Midwest, he would rather you have been killed, because he was a patrician and he didn't like you. But he was beautifully, masterfully gifted in the art of deception. He was an unbelievable deceptor. And so he was able to convince all the goofballs, oh, that's right, he was a man of the people. And so, oh gosh, I got into it with this guy in Logan, Utah a few years back. Yeah, about 2.5 years back. My goodness, I got into it with him bad. He kicked me out of his house. Haven't been invited back since. And it was all about Franklin Roosevelt, Social Security, and the Great Depression. And I told him the Tennessee Valley Authority can go straight to hell. Everything to do with Franklin Roosevelt can go straight to hell. It's not the New Deal, it's the Raw Deal, as it was so accurately stated in... I can't recall the author's name, but there's a book called New Deal or Raw Deal. It was a raw deal because it was social welfare. It was socialism. It was the international socialists using Franklin Roosevelt, and he was more than willing to be used because he got a nice piece of the pie for doing so, to bring about social welfare in the United States. They used communism in the Soviet Union, they used fascism in Germany and Italy, and they used social welfare in the United States. Why? Fabian socialism. Because you have to understand the people of each particular country, the people of the Soviet Union with their history, and how they feel about other individuals and their role in society. Communism was the perfect way to take them over. What about the people of Italy and the people of Germany with their history, going back hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, sometimes thousands of years, and specifically over 1,000 years. With their people and their history and their culture, it is more effective to use fascism to capture their markets and to convince their people that you need to get on board with this. With the people of the United States, fascism won't work, communism won't work, you need to give them social welfare programs. They're all part of international socialism. It's all part of capturing every market so that the dickheads can control the whole show. And that's exactly what it is. That's why they used international socialism in the United States, and that's why they needed the 16th Amendment. And that's why they needed the Federal Reserve to crash the market and then suck through the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act, suck all the liquidity out of circulation, and then hold that over the politicians' heads until they sold out and bought off, which was a very easy decision for some of them, because they just wouldn't know the word principled if it smacked them in the face with a 2x4. And in doing so, handed over the souls of every American unborn for 100 years plus to come. And that came through, like I said, Social Security. Social Security is a Ponzi scheme used to snatch the free souls of Americans that hadn't even been born yet, like myself and my parents and my baby girl and all these other people. Most of the people listening right now weren't alive in 1936. And so you were bought and paid for long before you were even born, man. Your soul was bought and paid for before you were born by the scumbags at the Federal Reserve. Going back to Jekyll Island in 1911 and all the scumbag sellout politicians along the way. How many politicians have they murdered because they were onto this stuff and tried telling the American people, look, if you don't stand up and do something about this, if you don't stop these people, we're the last stand in this world. Do you realize what that means? The United States of America is the last stand in the world for absolute freedom. If we collapse, freedom collapses with us. Period. And I don't know if you realize how significant that statement really is. I don't care if you believe it or not, it's the truth. I don't think you realize exactly how significant that really is. If the United States of America collapses, liberty collapses. Do you understand that? You need to realize that. Because I'll be damned if I'm going to live in a country that was captured by international socialists, and then guys like me and guys like you and girls like you who decide to speak their mind and stand up for liberty and have family histories that have done it for hundreds of years are going to be wrapped up into these secret prisons and tossed into some scumbag place out in the middle of nowhere where you're tortured for a while and then they kill you. Now, I'm not going to end up being one of the Jews in Germany in 1942 being sent to Auschwitz. Not going to happen, scumbags. But if you don't wake up and smell the coffee, pretty soon large numbers of people are going to be wrapped up under the National Emergency Centers Establishment Act and sent to these damn FEMA internment camps where they suspend habeas corpus and they can hold you indefinitely without trying you, and the Constitution of the United States is out the window, and it's like, oh, it's just nothing more than, as George Bush said, it's nothing more than a goddamn piece of paper. Like George Bush himself actually said that, referring to the Constitution. I mean, The President of the United States making a statement like that, man, publicly. He should have been cracked in the face with a 2x4 for that. You're the Commander-in-Chief saying that the Constitution is nothing more than a goddamn piece of paper. You deserve to have your ass kicked for that, George. You deserve to have your ass kicked for that. And I'm not joking around. You really do. It's a bunch of nonsense. You're the Commander-in-Chief. The fact that you made a statement like that, that's deserving of a good smack upside your face. But who the hell's going to do it? Shit, man, you smack the President and you're going to lose your arm. And that ain't all you're going to lose. You're going to lose a lot more before they take your life. I tell you, the truth is sensational. The truth is sensational. And it'll blow you away. It'll absolutely blow you away.